La Asociación Nacional de Periodistas Hispanos, Capítulo de Nueva Jersey, hizo entrega de la Beca José ROHAIDY 2022 a favor de la estudiante hispana de periodismo CONEO FERNÁNDEZ de la Universidad Estatal de Montclair. Fue durante una ceremonia realizada en mayo último en la Comunicaciones and Media School en la que participaron otros estudiantes reconocidos por su excelencia académica. La estudiante ganadora de la beca del NJ Chapter de la National Association of Hispanic Journalists, NAHJ, participó en forma virtual de la ceremonia y agradeció por haber sido escogida entre las candidatas.
Sounds good. It is a pleasure to be chosen for this award. For those who don't know, I come from Colombia, so it's been a great challenge to come to the U.S. and become a journalist here. That has always been my dream. So I'm grateful for this opportunity that you have given me, and thank you so much for the faith that you have in me. Like Professor Strudler just mentioned, we are working to make sure Hispanics are heard. And I was able to be part of that class, the bilingual reporting class, which was great. So we're working at Montclair to make sure every Hispanic is heard. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. I think that you're going to get your goal, and I congratulate you. And this is the name of this scholarship is José ROHAIDY, in memory of the pioneer of Hispanic journalists in New York and New Jersey. I worked with him for more than 30 years in the El Diario La Prensa of New York. So we are very proud to be here and helping young students to be journalists. So this is the Leader Award from the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, the New Jersey chapter, that I'm honored to be the president.
El director de la Escuela de Comunicaciones y Medios de Montclair, Keith Strudler, enfatizó que el 30% de estudiantes de periodismo de esta casa de estudios son de origen hispano.
Hispanic reporting and bilingual reporting, and we, as part of the NBCU Academy program, are creating content around bilingual and Hispanic media that will be distributed nationally. So your faith in our school is particularly meaningful, and I want you to know that we're very committed to training future journalists who will be able to serve the vast array of communities in New Jersey, I think, with the journalism they need and deserve. So thank you so much. So we are a Hispanic serving institution. We are over 30% Hispanic, and in our school we have a large Hispanic student population in the School of Communication and Media, many who are bilingual, many who are first generation, and we increasingly are creating coursework and content that not only allows our students to take advantage of their unique skill sets in being able to report to a diverse community, but also their ability for many of them to report in 2 languages. We're increasingly working with community and with media partners who absolutely want to be able to work with and hire our students who are able to not only report in English, but to report in Spanish as well, and to work across verticals in media companies that want to make sure that they are able to reach their broadest audience. And so it's a huge priority for the school to be able to allow our students to take advantage of their special skill sets and to be able to serve particularly the population of New Jersey and nationally at an important time in American media and journalism.
What about this ceremony, award ceremony, scholarship ceremony today in Montclair State University, the School of Communication and Media?
So every year we have the opportunity to recognize some of our top students who benefit from the generosity from organizations and donors, and it's an inspirational evening. We tend to see how incredibly talented and inspiring and hardworking our students are. And so tonight we had, I believe, 39 students who were recognized for excellence. All of them received scholarship funds that will be put forth towards next year's tuition and housing and all of the other things that make getting through college so challenging. And so for all of our students, and our students, like students all across the country, struggle financially because college is expensive, and it's difficult to be able to take full advantage of all the opportunities when you're always worried about tuition and family and housing and food. So what donors make possible for our students is to truly reward excellence and allow our students to take full advantage of the educational opportunities in front of them.
Our organization, the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, the NJ Chapter, is trying to help the students to develop their career and pursue their goals. What do you think about that, our organization?
Well, we're thrilled that the National Association of Hispanic Journalists gives to Montclair State University and is so generous with our students and believes in our students. We are fully committed to serving the Hispanic community with quality reporting and making sure that our students, so many of whom are Hispanic, so many of whom who are bilingual, have the opportunity to pursue careers that help to bring good journalism to Hispanic communities across the state and across the country. And there has never been a time in our history when having truthful and rigorous and qualified reporting and reporters than now. And I think your support of our program makes that more possible.
Okay, your invitation to young people to join the Montclair State University School of Communication and Media.
So we encourage anyone who has gumption and talent and aspiration and wants to tell stories, who wants to help make the world a better place, whether it's as a filmmaker or in animation, or as a journalist, as a sports reporter, as a scholar, as a public relations professional, in advertising, anything in the communication world. If you have the drive and the ambition and you're willing to work, we want you to come to Montclair State. It's an inclusive space, and we know that you may not necessarily have all the skills when you get here. What we're looking for are people who want to make themselves the best that they can be.
Okay, thank you very much. And good luck.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
congratulations.
Por su parte, Steve McCarthy, profesor de periodismo en Montclair, dijo que los estudiantes se convertirán sin duda en una importante voz para su comunidad en el futuro.
We're about 30% in the university, Latino and Hispanic, and we really have a great number of very bright young ladies and men who are going to be great journalists and be a great voice for the Hispanic community in America. I truly believe that. I think we're making a real contribution. I think, as we know, the Hispanic population is growing. It's voting. It's becoming heard, and we're happy to just keep contributing and sending journalists out that have this background, have the language skills, and just know that they are the voice of their people.
Okay, please tell us something about your background as a teacher, as a journalist.
I grew up in Brooklyn, in Bay Ridge. My dad was a police officer. I got a job at CBS News when I was very young, and I basically graduated from a college much like Montclair State University of New York. So I was from a blue-collar background, like many of our students are here. And I spent a lot of time at CBS News, NBC News. I traveled around the country. I traveled around the world reporting on all kinds of different stories, from terrorism to economics to tragedies to accidents, everything, murders, everything. I did a lot of work in many places. I started teaching here about 11 years ago, and I continued to make documentary films. And I find that my work outside is helping me stay current and also helping me be attached to my students, to have a connection with them. I show them what I'm doing professionally, and they learn from that too.
Okay, thank you very much.
You know, I did a film about Jimmy Breslin and Pete Hamill. You remember those guys?
Oh yeah, Pete Hamill.
Yeah, Pete Hamill.
Yes,
yeah,
I remember
it's on
him.
HBO Max. It's called
Oh, yeah?
Breslin and Hamill Deadline Artists. If you're newspaper guys, you're
Okay,
gonna love
El Diario, El Diario
Yeah, Diario,
newspaper
sí,
for
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah, sí.
Yeah, more than 100 years. Yes, yes, and I was there for 30 years, more than 30
Wow.
years.
Well, you must have done a lot of good reporting.
Okay.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Adiós.
En fecha reciente, el cheque por $1,000 correspondiente a la beca 2022 fue entregado en forma presencial a la coordinadora de la Fundación Montclair State University, Helen Barsamian. La beca fue lograda gracias a la actividad que realizó el Capítulo de Nueva Jersey el pasado 11 de diciembre del 2021 en el restaurante Estrellita del Sur de Patterson y a la contribución de diversas empresas locales. Nuestro reconocimiento a todos los participantes a nombres de Michelle y de la Asociación Nacional de Periodistas Hispanos. Desde Nueva Jersey, Manuel Avendaño.
Thank you very much.